Have you ever heard the phrase, everyone's a critic? People constantly want to express their opinions on anything and everything. The news,
Officers have lost sight of the suspect.
the weather, and worst of all, films. Enter Letterboxd, an app to review, rate, list, discuss, and share your greatest, or worst, opinions on movies. I would know. I'm one of the suckers who paid for the damn app. But where did it come from? Why does it have such a loyal community? And how has it changed the way film lovers around the world watch movies forever? To uncover the truth, we need to go all the way back to when Letterboxd first came onto the scene.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Picture this. It's 2011. Pumped Up Kicks was blasting on the radio. Game of Thrones was first premiering on TVs. And with the introduction of Instagram in 2010, social media was about to enter its most dominant decade yet. Now, enter Matthew Buchanan and Karl von Randau, two Kiwi-based web designers out of Auckland, New Zealand, with a love for film and a dream. But before we go any further, I suppose I should explain what Letterboxd means. Well, for the casual film lover, Letterboxd refers to the widescreen format of film, those two little black bars at the top and bottom of your movie screen. So, it started with a fitting name. But it wasn't until a lot later that the two New Zealand film lovers would begin to realise the app's potential, and change film as we know it today. Funnily enough, when the app was first launched, it only featured 23 films on its roster, an invite-only platform with very few users to say the least. However, thanks to a steady incline over time and the massive increase of over double the users in the global pandemic, as of July 2022, Letterboxd has over 8 million users and 1 billion films logged. So what's all the fuss about?
Shirley, don't you think you've had enough?
Of you?
Much like other social media platforms, Letterboxd offers a space for people from all walks of life to share their opinions. Being able to see what your friends are watching, discovering films you may not have heard of, and having your individual reviews judged by your friends really promotes a sense of community, even if it means being ridiculed by your mates for your perfect review of Shrek 2 being the best movie of all time. The app is full of opinions. Use at your own risk. I think this sense of community became very apparent in the boom in popularity over the pandemic. With people stuck in their homes, naturally, they had more time on their hands to watch films. Having this community really helped some people, as even though they couldn't see each other in person, the app still provided means to destroy your friends' opinions online. But aside from just the pandemic, Letterboxd in general seemed to make film criticism a lot more accessible. Before, you'd have to read various forums, newspapers, or hope you had a friend nearby who shared the same interest. And with the introduction of Letterboxd, the app created a one-hub space for every person to share their opinions, no matter where they are. This encourages more people to engage with films critically, as well as just watching them for fun. Film criticism has sometimes been known to be a bit pretentious in the past, but now, thanks to Letterboxd, reviews like, "You can tell Ryan Gosling has a nice dick, it's in his eyes," make the app more accessible, as well as still having formal, longer reviews for those who are interested. So, now that we've got our community, how has it changed watching movies? Well, what if I told you Letterboxd has turned watching movies into a game? Let me ask you a question. What are some of the things you think of when you picture your favourite games? Smashing your high score? Beating your friends? Or how about wanting to grab every collectible you can get your grubby little hands on? Did you know the game industry is worth 7 times more than Hollywood? And doesn't it just feel like Letterboxd has almost accidentally combined the two? Take for example beating your high score. Because of the diary feature, watching a film every day almost becomes a kind of running total. And once you get a good number going, it gets more and more addictive to keep upping your own personal best. Add a couple friends into the mix, and it creates some friendly competition, much like online games do. This actively helps promote the film industry by encouraging you to watch more films, not to mention features like 100%ing creators' bodies of works. And whilst it's not quite as tedious as collecting every feather in Rome, using features that almost resemble these concepts of games only helps Hollywood in the long run. Not to mention the most popular tab, which is also used to promote cinema's latest releases. But I know what you may be thinking. Come on, this is all a bit of a stretch. And you know what? It probably is. But I can't tell you the amount of TikToks I've seen or posts on Twitter mentioning how Letterboxd motivates them to watch films. Now, of course, this shouldn't always be needed. People should want to watch movies just for the fun of watching movies. And I agree. Personally, I don't get when people watch movies just for the sake of their diary. I think that motivation can be good if you're in a slump. But I hope people always use the app to enhance their film watching experience rather than make it a chore. To me, it takes all the elements that make it a social media and adds features that only makes the app all the more addicting. And don't get me wrong, I know apps like Goodreads have done this too, but Letterboxd in my opinion just seems to have done it better, with more features like half-star ratings, full-on statistical breakdown pages, and honestly, just a nicer experience to use as a whole. Letterboxd seems to become more popular every year, and with YouTube videos like roasting people's Letterboxd taste, and even huge Hollywood stars like Margot Robbie using the app, it will only help it grow all the more. I love Letterboxd, and truly believe this app has changed the film experience for me forever. And who knows, maybe I'll finally get round to watching The Godfather.